Well, concerns for school safety have grown in the city after two recent incidents with students bringing guns to school. Now, on Monday, we told you about a scare at East Brooklyn Community High School where police arrested a 17-year-old student after he was caught with a loaded gun. Comes less than 1 month after a student at Benjamin and Cardoza High School in Queens was arrested with a gun after allegedly threatening to, quote, shoot the school up. So what's being done to continue to protect students? Let's bring in CBS News law enforcement contributor and former deputy commissioner with the NYPD, Richard Esposito. Hey, Richard, good to see you. Quite a game at Yankee Stadium last night, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk a little school safety here. What steps can the NYPD take to strengthen its collaboration with schools to prevent weapons from being brought onto campuses? Obviously, schools, have issues, and these are just some that we've highlighted here.
So, there's about 3,500 school safety agents. They're civilians, and there's kind of a complex relationship with the NYPD. They're members of the teachers union, the UFT, and the Teamsters. But more important than that tug of war over how they report is the privacy of students. So most shootings have occurred across the country in high schools. We have random metal detectors in New York, and we try and give the students a comfortable place to learn as well as a safe place to learn. So what can be done? More metal detectors. But I'll give you an example of the kinds of issues. If a school safety agent wears a bulletproof vest, that raises concerns. Does that traumatize students? And that becomes a parent-teacher issue. So every step you take, you have to balance the students, their parents, and their safety. So it's an educational process for everybody.
It is interesting how if you talk to any parent across the board, obviously universally they will say, we want the schools to be safe. But then if you say, OK, well, we're going to put metal detectors up, everybody's like, whoa, we don't want this place to look like a prison.
Yeah, right.
So let me ask you this. The City Department of Education says the use of scanners and the metal detectors handled by the NYPD's School Safety Division under protocols that were created back in 2016. Now, mind you, it's not that long ago, but they really haven't been updated since. Do you think it's time for a policy review change? And if you could, what recommendations might you make?
I think one of the important things, I love the way they blame one agency when three agencies are involved. Those protocols are part set by the Board of Education, and they do need updating by everybody, the teachers, the Board of Ed, and the PD. Those school safety agents only really meet with the PD on like a monthly basis. It's an interesting dynamic. So that really does need improving. They're correct on that point. And what also needs improving is the education of what to look for. Most people who are going to be violent exhibit signs in advance. We've been fortunate in New York. Last year, 4,000 dangerous items, box cutters, pepper spray, and 300 of them weapons, knives and guns, were seized in New York. We have like 1 million students. And we had one shooting last year, I believe one shooting. And that's not, in the world of danger, New York has been very fortunate. So more metal detectors, more training on what to look for in advance, and making sure we have the right balance of privacy for students, their comfort in learning, and protecting the school, the teachers, and the students.
I got to say, this incident where the student bravely reported the threat, and luckily the threat was neutralized before anything bad could happen. Is there more outreach that teachers and schools need to have with the students to encourage them? Hey, this is the type of behavior we're looking for. You don't have to worry about retaliation, whatnot. We'll protect you. Job well done.
I think they have protocols for all those things at the schools. They also need reviewing, and they could be improved. If possible, some parent education is fairly essential. A lot of kids across the country get guns at home. In New York, we have far less legal guns than in other parts of the country. So that's one of the reasons we've been very fortunate. I hate even saying this, but we've been very, very fortunate in a country where, last year in Minneapolis, grammar school students were shot as they prayed before school. And this goes back 26 years since a horrible high school shooting in Columbine, Colorado, where 16 students were killed. And these things feed on each other. So we can use more education for the parents, and we're doing more education for the students. And we can look at how those school safety agents are trained in lockdown procedures, et cetera.
It definitely is a new way of life. I know with young kids, when I hear them talk about some of the lockdowns that they have, the drills that they have rather for lockdowns, and then you see what happens when, patrol cars stationed in front of elementary schools and things like that. These are some of the deterrents that are needed, sadly, in this day and age. But Richard, thank you. Good to talk with you as always.
Thank you, Chris. Good to see you.
We'll talk with you next week. Go Yankees tonight. For more on our conversations on public safety with Rich, you can head to our website at cbsnewyork.com.